Hey everybody, Robo here for what are we calling this now? Space age erotica, epic obscenity meets sin and sci-fi in the 60s, the France books universe. That's it.
You got to be kidding me, Robo. How about this?
Did a little, want to share some books I just bought. So there's a book haul. Not so much of a haul, mini haul, we'll call it. The first one is an epic book. This is a Bedroom Tramp by Al James, and most of you would know his father if you read mid-century mysteries. In a cheap brothel or a swank hotel, she was still a bedroom tramp. She hated men, but loved their money. This one's in pristine shape, save for the little saw cut there. That's the remainder mark. These things were marketed like magazines, so they only had a shelf life of like 30 days, and then they were remaindered. I'm not sure what they did when they were remaindered. Sometimes they would slap new covers on them and resell them. But I don't know where pristine ones like this came from. If they just ended up in a box at the publisher, or if the bookseller was able to hang on to them, and then who knows what happened next. This next book is a France book, Honeymoon Motel, and that's by Dick Geis. I think he's listed here on the spine as Richard Geis. This one's in a little rougher shape, but it has a little weathering. It has a fold-out cover. This one I can share because she is partially clothed enough for me to share it with you. Dick Geis was a huge, big-name fan in sci-fi. He had a number of fanzines that went on for decades, and you can find some of them on the Internet Archive, and Alien Critic was one, and I forget what it changed its name to eventually offhand. But you'll find all your favorite sci-fi writers in there. Ones from the France epic world to the really big names, and they left their address when they wrote a letter to the editor, and you could write your favorite sci-fi author. That's what kept that community strong. Um, anyway, I'll do more on these books. I just want to share some what I had picked up. But we'll dig into these authors. Guys got into a lot of trouble and a huge obscenity trial, so I want to dig into that. Next up is Charles Nuetzel's Warriors of Numis, and this is the first book in the Numis series. And it was on Powell Sci-Fi, which he packaged. So he was responsible for everything. Obviously, this is his own work, but he would get the author's manuscript, and he would put the cover on it. He would write all the blurbs. This is his father. Albert Nuetzel was very famous for doing his covers, but he passed during this era. So suddenly his uncle, Charles Nuetzel's uncle Louis or Louis, jumped in and did some covers. But Nuetzel's covers are really pretty. This one is in pristine condition. It has not been cracked. It's also now it has. It has illustrations within too. I'm not sure who is responsible for those. Anyway, I've read a number of Charles's short stories and sleaze, but not any full works of science fiction. So I'm looking forward to that one. He was very much influenced by the people he read when he was growing up. Who's one of his favorites? His name is escaping me at the moment. I'll throw it up here, but he wrote Tarzan and all those adventures on Mars and whatnot. And from the cover, you can see there's a lot of sword and planet going on there. This next one kind of is out of the scope of things I usually talk about, but I've been reading a lot of William Ard mysteries, and he wrote westerns. Many people wrote as Jonas Ard, but this is about middle of the series. This one became a movie I really like William Ard, so I wanted to check out one of his westerns. But some other people that wrote as Jonas Ward, I'll I'll mention later, but you would recognize them, and some of them wrote sleaze also. But William Ard, he just wrote mysteries and westerns, and he's kind of underrated. I encourage you to check him out to see what you can find. These next few books are kind of weird. I saw this movie that somehow escaped me from 2009 called Gentlemen Broncos, and it's a very odd movie from the makers of Napoleon Dynamite. So if you like that, you might want to check this out. The premise, not to give away too much, is a boy goes to like a writing camp or seminar, and he has a fantasy, science fantasy, more than science fiction story that he submits to a contest. And one of the lecturers and judges of the contest is having issues with his publisher, and he steals the boy's story. It's very, very funny. But the beginning has an opening sequence that was the title sequence was comprised of actual books, and some of them are really far out. And I started buying some of them, and I don't know anything about them. This is a Cycle of Nemesis by Kenneth Bulmer. Pretty far out cover there. And another one I got was The Last Continent by Edwin Cooper. It's kind of a goofy cover too, but the reviews on this one are really good, and I think it's from the late 60s or the 70s. This is a pretty pristine copy, 1969. But everyone online says this is actually a really good book, even though it was used because it's kind of silly. Now this one I can't remember if it was actually in the film, but I've seen this one around forever. The Flying Eyes by J. Hunter Hawley, and it's just always cracked me up. And since I was buying these other books from this one particular seller, I thought I'd just throw this one in. This one is unread. Pretty much, it has a lot of shelfware, but pretty good condition. This Monarch book. So that's it. That just all kind of came within a day or two. Wanted to share with you what I got, and I'll get into those Epic and France books soon. And I have some a big haul I'd like to share with you soon. I just got to sort through it. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, and y'all take care. Bye now.